name is Carl Sherlock. I'm the head teacher of High Cross Primary School.
Why did you first become engaged with the project?
I suppose the reason I sort of got involved in the project was I'd heard about Comenius from other heads who had been involved in Comenius projects in different schools in Newport, and they always seemed to have a very positive slant on the project itself. And then when the opportunity came up where members of the LEA advisory team contacted me and asked whether I'd like to be involved in one, we jumped at the chance really. We'd just gone down the IPC route with regards to our curriculum, which is the International Primary Curriculum, looking at a more thematic approach to learning in Key Stage 2. And this seemed to fit in perfectly with the idea of both looking at your home environment and an international dimension.
What benefits do you think it's brought to the school and to the pupils being involved in this project?
It's benefited both the school and the pupils a great deal. I think the way the project was approached initially was very positive in the way that we started initially to look at our own environment, our own community, before we moved on to looking at Belgium. So the children looked at their own lives both in school and within their immediate environment of High Cross. They looked at Newport as a whole, and they also looked at how all that fits together within Wales. I think that was really, really important for us, because I think children really need to develop that sense of who they are within their own communities. They went out and did some wonderful activities, predominantly IT based and using film and media, where they took video cameras home and they interviewed parents and grandparents about life in Newport. They did a day in the life of videos of themselves. They went out all around Newport and looked at different monuments around Newport or different landmarks. They researched them. They then went, say for instance, the Transporter Bridge and filmed themselves in front of the Transporter Bridge, giving all this information. So they really did develop a positive idea of their own communities, which is incredibly important, because I know if I speak to adults, their view of Newport often isn't particularly positive, whereas our children, it's the total opposite. They then moved on to looking at the community revolving around the school in Leuven, and they had a real depth of knowledge then about their own communities before they started sharing it with Leuven. Big benefit with how they worked with the school was the use of the website ThinkQuest, and they buddied up with children from various classes in the school in Leuven, and that gave them a real focus for the project and a direct line of communication where they could develop their own knowledge of their comparative study. The huge advantage for that was they always had that continuous point of contact, whereas sometimes in comparative studies it's difficult to get really involved in it because it's not a real situation, whereas this was. And if day by day, week by week, if there was a question they needed to ask, instead of going to a sterile website, they could immediately log on to ThinkQuest, talk with a child on the other side, get their responses and share responses. For the school as a whole, it's been very, very useful. It's been great from a personal, professional level, where myself and other members of staff have gone out to Leuven and visited the city out there and learnt about practice and educational practice, as well as the culture of the community we were examining in class. Both back in school, we've had some wonderful events where we've had the mayor in, we've had teachers from Belgium in for conferences, we've had children presenting to their parents and to governors about some of the work we've done. It's been a real cohesive approach, which has sort of finished off the project very nicely.
What do you think has been the most successful elements of the partnership for the pupils, maybe?
I think probably the fact that they've used all these cross-curricular skills, whether it be IT, whether it be geography, an awful lot of language and literacy and oracy has gone into this project, and they've used them all almost without sort of thinking about them. I mean, I've had comments back from parents how confident the children were in standing up in front of 100 parents and talking about all the work they've done in their recycling project, which is linked with Leuven. Every aspect almost of the curriculum has been used within this project. Even though initially we only looked at ICT and geography, it's become far wider than that. We've used ICT, we've used geography, we've used maths, we've used literacy. We've even had children looking at languages and had parents coming in and teaching the children some Dutch. So what was started off as quite a small initiative has grown to encompass almost the entire learning experiences the children have had for the year.
So it's been good for the school?
Fab. Sorry. Yes, it's been wonderful for the school.